started.
Hi, y'all. We're live. Maybe.
And the beat goes. That's all I got.
Just running, and running. Welcome to our new
Perfect.
podcast about Black Eyed Peas.
Wouldn't
The
that be the worst
vegetable,
podcast ever?
the legume, or the
This is
band?
where we only sing VeggieTales, but in Black Eyed Peas voices.
It's atrocious. I hate it.
Oh gosh, I used to love. Oh my god, my phone went
Um,
off.
my name's Bridget. Uh,
Oh, I'm Lauren.
we've been gone for like 2 months. I don't know.
Has it been 2 months? No way.
I think it's
Month
been
and a
since
half.
August.
Wow. A lot happened. We both had birthdays.
I'm old.
Yeah, Bridget's old. I'm not. She's 30. I'm young still until next year.
I was like a solid 29.
What else happened? We worked at a film festival.
Yep.
That was fun
I
for
went to
me. I
Disney
don't think it
World.
was fun for Bridget. She
It
went to
was
Disney World.
right
Our
before the
friend
film
got
festival.
married.
Uh-huh.
I officiated 2 weddings.
I got sick somewhere in
Uh,
there. I don't remember what I had.
she did. Yeah. Was it Rona? Did you get
No,
Rona?
that was
Was
before the
that before?
birthdays.
What else happened? I grocery store graduated. I don't want to talk about it. And I think that's it. I think that's all that
It
happened.
doesn't sound like
Well,
a lot, but that was a lot to fit in.
it was a lot. In 2 months, a lot went down. It was a much needed break for our mental health. I've been off of work for the last 2 weeks. I just got back to work, so I'm feeling
I hate you.
excellent. You should. I'm so well rested. Trying to think if like I guess personally I've been working on making time for myself and making tasks not feel super stressful by having to do them very quickly and just kind of enjoying it. I'm cooking a pot roast right now. That's pretty exciting.
I love pot roast.
I know. I burnt myself on my pot roast. I'm sad.
That's a bad burn, dude.
It really hurts.
You put some
It's
Aquaphor
really
on
bad.
there.
I'm holding a Coke can. Oh, I don't know where my Aquaphor is. I need to find it.
I look like
Um,
I have an Elvis pompadour with this background and then how the headphones push my hair forward.
I know all of my hair is behind my headphones, so it looks like I don't have any hair. I did cut it, but I didn't cut it off. I still have it. Oh,
Mine's
I
wet.
went through a couple hair colors. Bridget went through a couple hair colors.
Mine's
That's it.
not purple looking, and I'm not quite sure how that happened because it was definitely more reddish,
Yeah,
maroonish.
it was very red.
I
Whatever.
don't know what's
We'll
going
take
on
it.
there.
It's the blue that was in your hair before,
There wasn't that
because
much. Not,
but red and blue makes purple.
but all the way through?
Yeah, get it.
Get it. Well, so we picked up
Hi.
on Ouran. What
Yeah, we're still
episodes?
there.
13 through
13 through
16.
16.
Yep. Wouldn't that be horrible if I hadn't watched the right episodes? Because I definitely didn't text you.
Yeah. Well, I had watched these before we went on hiatus, so I did not rewatch them. Uh, but I was gifted the box set of
Oh
Ouran High School
yeah.
Club manga for my birthday. I did not get to this part today, but I've been reading it. I just got to what is it? The one where they're at Kyoya's family
The beach.
vacation thing. Yeah.
I love that one.
So that's where I'm at right now. Pretty great.
The jungle.
A lot of anime stuff happened, but I don't have the capacity to talk about it right now, so we're just gonna skip over that. Like
My
anime, like the new Bleach came out, My Hero season 6
I don't know.
started.
I haven't
Chainsaw
watched
Man
it.
premiered yesterday.
It didn't.
Mob Psycho 100 is back
Yesterday
and going
premiered on
strong.
Saturday. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know what day it is anymore.
Today's
I
Friday.
watched it yesterday.
I was like, it premiered
Great.
on Saturday.
Oh no. Anime. Pacha.
And my
Ouran High School has
hero
club.
still has not finished this battle fight thing in the manga.
Once they finish the battle, it's over. So they just want to do it.
Bruh.
They want to prolong it as much as possible.
Have you caught up on that? I'm. It's been.
Why should I? I'm just gonna be in torment with you. Right now, I'm at a spot where I'm okay having paused. If
Because
I
I just
continue
want you to
forward,
know this ridiculous thing that happened.
no, I think I already know what it is, and I don't need to know anything else.
I don't think you do.
Talk
Because
later.
when it
I
happened, I
think
was
I
just like,
do.
what? What do you think it
Well,
is? I won't react.
well, I know what happened with Edshot. Is that the ridiculous thing? Because that is ridiculous.
Dead shot.
Edshot.
Edge shot.
Yes. The
What
paper
happened
man.
with what happened with him? I'm the worst with names. I
Him
struggle.
and Bakugo?
Okay, yeah, that's the ridiculous thing.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
I read that and I was like, he's his what?
Yeah, yeah. I don't get it. And also, no, we can't talk about it yet. It's fine. We'll actually we can. Evan, this is our podcast. If you don't
Yeah.
want to listen to this, skip ahead 10 minutes
Spoilers
because
for My Hero manga. That's really disappointing.
so it's not like anyone's listening anyway. So I'm just gonna go off about this. So here's what I know. I know Bakugo died but didn't die. His heart like exploded, and I guess Edgeshot like paper folded himself into a new heart piece to like make him live. What happens when he dies? Like Edgeshot. It's not like he can keep pumping if he dies.
I don't know. They should have had Bakugo's death be that, so it was a hero's death. It was great.
It's
And
so
then
fucking stupid. I'm so angry.
and
I
then
just don't understand.
he became his heart while Best Genius was trying to stitch him, which made sense because he controls thread. And
So that
then
could make sense, and I get how that could make him last until Izuku gets there, and then we still don't know what
what
the
is Izuku
second
gonna do?
user's quirk is. So maybe that could be like a healing quirk. We don't freaking know. That would have made sense. But instead, they had this little paper mache man paper mache himself down so small that he became a beating heart. Like that's
It's that
stupid.
ridiculous. And don't
And
worry, we don't know if it worked or not or what's happened because he's still laying there on the field like 6 weeks
like
later.
I am fully obsessed with Edgeshot. Like I really like Edgeshot as a pro hero separate from the story. But I have a really hard time liking him now that he did something so stupid.
Let me show you a panel.
No, I don't want to see panels.
No, it's
This
not
is
any
this
of
is
them.
enough. I don't want to see it.
But it's not a
I don't.
spoiler.
I don't want to see it.
Can I tell
I
you
love you
something
though.
ridiculous though? That also happened?
No. Mm-mm.
It literally has nothing to do with the plot, and that's why it's infuriating.
No.
Okay. It's just frustrating. Can't talk to you about any shows. It's fine.
Oh, I love you.
Can I
And
talk to you about House of Dragon? Oh,
I started watching it. Give me a break. I have to wait for my husband. I can't watch
he
it.
blamed it on you!
Well, we have a lot of things that we're currently watching. I can't do anything about that.
He said
I'm
Lauren
just
doesn't want to
trying-
watch it, and I was like,
He is full of it. I wanted to watch it. I asked him several times, and he was like, no. Because he didn't like the ending of Game of Thrones. I did.
that's
I would
so
like
funny
everyone to
because that's
remember
the
that. I was
exact
the one
same
that
story
liked
he
Game of
told
Thrones.
me, but he said it was you.
I liked Game of Thrones. He is a liar. No.
All of the time.
Lauren, why is Bo Burnham playing?
It's my brother's calling me.
Oh,
1 second, please. Hi.
all right, we're back.
Okay.
Okay, here. Let's start.
Now I'm just frustrated. I don't even
I know.
remember what we were talking about. I'm like angry.
We're angrily talking about TV shows and your husband, but we're gonna switch over to Ouran. Okay.
Maybe that's actually why I'm angry.
Yeah, I think that's why. Don't take it out of the brother.
It's
All
hard
right.
not to. Sorry, that's mean.
Do they listen?
No?
There you go. Here we go. Chapter 13. This episode was called um
Haruhi in Wonderland.
oh, that's right. This was a interesting filler episode.
It was sweet.
It
It
confused me in
starts
the
off
beginning.
stupid, but it ends really nicely.
Yeah.
And I hate Alice in Wonderland so much. Like my least favorite thing in the whole world is
That's
Alice in
interesting.
Wonderland. Why? You think I would like it? Everyone does
I
for
mean,
some
it's just
reason.
like a fun fantasy story.
I hate it. I think it's nonsense in the worst way, and it's so boring, and it just drags on, and everyone just talks in circles. It's like talking to my brother for 3 hours, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I'm over it. I don't want to hear this little girl talk about how curious all this crap is. Little girl, I want you to be afraid and go home. That's what I want. I want you to go home and stop talking to old men. That's what I want for you. Goodbye.
Oh.
Also, the fact that this is written by a pedophile is very upsetting to
Oh,
me.
who's is it? Was this
Uh,
one written by what's his name?
well, the guy, I don't remember the guy who wrote the book, but I know he wrote it about his 7-year-old next door neighbor as a love story to her, like a
The
gift.
actual Alice in Wonderland or
Yeah,
this?
like the book.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like this episode, and I was like, "What?"
No,
I was like, "Excuse me."
Vic Mignogna.
That's why I was
Sick,
like,
why I hate Alice in Wonderland.
"Oh."
Sorry.
I thought you were sick. Like Vic Mignogna wrote this, and I was like, "What is
No, he
happening?"
did not. He did not. Yeah. It's stupid. I just don't like Alice in Wonderland, so I really don't like this episode. But I like the ending of the episode. I think it's very sweet. And Haruhi shows you a little bit about herself. And
She's
that's
definitely
nice.
getting more comfortable revealing vulnerabilities with them.
Hmm. And that's great. And I love it. And it's really sweet.
It is sweet.
I guess I should tell you the Netflix summary, shouldn't I?
Oh
I just
yeah,
forgot that was a thing that we do.
we're all
Um,
out of like sync.
I know. I feel weird. So Haruhi finds herself wandering through a weird version of Ouran Academy that can only be described as Wonderland, with Tamaki as the Mad Hatter. That's it. I like the way that they only talk about Tamaki. They're like,
I mean,
the other guys really are the homosexual supporting cast. It's fine.
but I think that's a good hook in. Like, oh, that tracks. He's the Mad Hatter. All right, I'll watch.
Ugh,
All right, that is a good
sorry. I'll
summary
hold
though.
my disgust in. Hate it.
Oh my
Continue.
gosh. So here we go. It's based on Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. But
Lewis
it's
Carroll. He's the pervert.
yep, sure. I didn't know anything about that. But here we go. Episode begins with Haruhi is a middle schooler visiting Oran with her father. Uh, Ronka, right? It's Ronka.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
We're
I
back
think.
to me trying to read names and forgetting how to pronounce them, even though.
Oh, just wait.
So they're in the admissions
Just wait.
office, and they're trying. They're like, "Hey, based on your scores, like your kid's gonna get in." So cool. So she's sitting out to the side of the room, and there's behind her's like there's this large painting of a woman and a young girl sitting under a tree, symbolism to like Alice in Wonderland. Um, so the dean invites her to visit the campus and explore while they're talking. And now the painting in the background is it's showing a little girl chasing a pink rabbit, which I like because Alice in Wonderland starts with her chasing the white rabbit, and now we're gonna chase the pink rabbit. What the pink rabbit has a name?
My goodness, Bun Bun?
I
Not
don't
Bun
remember.
Bun.
Uh,
My
Usa
gosh,
Usa Chan. Usa
Usa-chan.
Chan. I was reading it.
Usa-chan.
So she sees Usa-chan dancing in music room number 3. And she when she enters, a hole in the floor descends with the bunny, which is really funny because it's what's her name's like little secret lift where she always comes up from the ground. What's her name? Well, she'll come in the end.
Renge.
Ringe. That's her little trap door thing when she appears. Um, so Haruhi chases after the bunny, slips on a banana peel, which I love this running gag so much. I think it's so dumb, but in the funniest way. And goes tumbling into the hole. So she lands in a Ouran salon, and her bottom is stuck inside a vase that looks like the one that she broke that started this whole journey. So she topples off the pedestal and lands on her stomach, but the vase is not broken. Uh, Shiro pops out of a grand piano and looks like a mouse. Haruhi begs for help, but Shiro eats a banana and is suddenly tiny and disappears through equally tiny doors at the far end of the room. So Haruhi eats a bunch of bananas and shrinks and goes through the doors too. So I mean, this is really spot on Alice in Wonderland, but it's just like got little Ouran, I don't know, sprinkles in there. That's what I'm gonna say. There's
Sprinkles?
Ouran sprinkles.
And
Um,
sprinkles.
in the corner, she slips on another banana peel and falls down the hole, and falls into a pool of water. Unconscious at first, she awakens in time to avoid drowning and notices that the pool is set in the Ouran courtyard with a blanket thrown at the end. Um, and on the side, there's a caterpillar that looks like Kyoya, which is the most like disturbing looking caterpillar. I've like it was almost like draw caterpillar if you've never seen one. Is kind of what this caterpillar looks like. I don't know. The caterpillar freaked me out. Sitting on a mushroom and blowing bubbles, writing in a notebook that looks like the one he's always writing in. He tells Haruhi the pool is filled with her tears. Is like, man, you've been crying a lot, and warns that the water isn't safe. And the Zuka Club surfaces in these like alligator submarines. At first, they look like the heads in what is that show? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna space out. The space show. The girl has purple hair and one
Talk?
eye. An animated. What is that show?
What are you talking about?
Hold on.
An animated space show with heads?
Animated. Oh, what is it called?
What is it, Futurama?
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I was having a stroke there, but I could not remember the word Futurama. You know, like all the dead presidents and stuff, they're in those little head cases. It's just their heads that talk. And when they pop out of
Yeah.
the water, that's exactly what they look like. And I was like, oh my gosh, so they disembodied and then they're in an alligator. I don't know. That was a
Heard.
really weird tangent for just, I couldn't remember the word Futurama. It's supposed to be 2 seconds, but anyway, here we are.
It was the
Futurama.
purple hair. The purple, a one-eyed girl would be a lot easier to
I
describe,
said
Leela. I would
purple
just like to
hair,
throw
one
that
eyed
out there.
girl. Oh, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so Haruhi runs out and asks if she's back to original size, and Kyoya says, no, not yet, but we can take care of that. But it won't be cheap, though, in true Kyoya fashion. Um, the twins arrive. Is it the twins that arrive? Yeah. And ask for a bite of mushroom, which Kyoya provides, along with addition to their tab. Uh,
Oh wait, no, it's not the twins. It's what's his name? Creepy guy and his little sister.
oh, yeah, okay. They arrive, and
Nikozawa.
yes,
Bam.
Nekazawa. And
Crushing
it,
it. Sorry, I had to
what's
high five myself.
Kirimi, gosh, whatever.
Yay!
Kirimi. Lord have mercy, help me with names. I'm not in practice anymore.
Oh, just
So,
wait.
Haruhi asks what he's always writing in the notebook, and Kyoya is non-committal, but points out that she said always, even though they've never met. Bam, bam, bam. Uh, so the Nekazawa siblings each take a bite of mushrooms and transform. Kirimi's into a teen and Nekazawa into a baby. Haruhi chases the baby. She's like, aren't you going to do something? And then ends up in the room with the Duchess, who looks like Ringe, aka like the Queen of Hearts, which is great. And her cat, Hikaru, who looks like Hikaru. Hikaru. And her cook, who looks like Princess Seika? I don't remember who Seika was. Anyway, Ringe holds the
She
baby.
she was she the teacup lady?
Is she?
I don't remember. I haven't watched this for 2 months. Um,
I'm
oh,
gonna have
I
to
don't know.
like
It doesn't matter.
binge
It
all
doesn't
the
matter.
old episodes to try and get back to it. Anyway, um, Renge's holding the baby and asks Haruhi if she's concerned for it, to which Haruhi says, being with your mother is always the best thing. Renge hands over the child and says she must go to court and then vanishes. Mr. Cat says Renge's joking with her, the doll isn't even hers. When Haruhi looks at the baby, it's turned into that cursed doll. What's Beelzebub? I don't remember.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub? It just makes me think of the TikTok trend with that sound right now and all the pets. Beelzebub. Have you seen that? Are you not on the same channel as
Yeah,
me?
with the dogs.
Yeah, well, mine are cats. It's so good.
Lucifer. Oh, mine are all dogs.
um, so when she looks up again, the cat has
They're all
disappeared.
small, gross Chihuahua dogs too.
Yeah, Mr. I don't remember his name. I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not gonna go down that tangent again. Mr. Bubs. There it is. Uh, as Haruhi continues her tour, Mr. Cat reappears and disappears, seemingly in two places at the same time. You know, like the Cheshire Cat.
What?
What? It's just like Alice in Wonderland.
Whoa.
So in another
Never got that.
courtyard sits the dodo who resembles Kanako, having tea and hoping that her fiance Toru comes back soon. Kanako's the tea girl.
Yes. Seika, I looked her up. Seika,
Oh,
she
okay.
is the mean girl that throws Haruhi's stuff in the pool
Oh,
in the first episode.
that makes sense. Okay.
Cha.
Um, cool. I was like, wait a second. All right. Haruhi enters Oran's dining hall where the Mad Hatter, resembling Tamaki, of course, um, a dormouse resembling Takashi Mori, and a March hare resembling Honey. Little Honey. Okay, I love Mori as the mouse and Honey
No,
as
he's just so sleepy and cute.
um dressed in a Usa-chan costume, sitting at a table. They tell her there's no room, and she begins to leave until Honey invites her back. Because Honey is an angel, unless Honey has cavities. Um, Tamaki comments on her long hair, but reminds her it'll have to be shorter in the future, which I love that they do these like call outs. In the beginning of this episode, I was really confused because I couldn't remember Haruhi's name, and I was like, but she sounds a lot like the main
Name?
character. I had like just started it, Lord. I was like, but she doesn't have long hair. And then they were like Haruhi, and I was like, oh, that is the main character. I don't know what's happening right
Main
now.
character, you're right.
Thank you.
The flashback episode.
I know I was lost for a second. So Honey comments that she's wearing a skirt, to which Haruhi responds, "I'm a girl, not that it matters," which is funny. A
Love
cart
our
full of
queen.
cakes roll up. Yes. Cart full of cakes roll up, and Honey digs in with Haruhi warning that if he keeps eating all these sweets, he'll get a cavity, which made me laugh because that episode's funny. Honey's
Great episode.
eyes nearly pop out of his head, and Maury's nose bubble bursts. And they make a comment about like, "Oh, I guess snot bubbles really do pop." And I was like, "That is the most random thing," but all right, that's disgusting.
Yeah. They say that in Japanese too. I don't know why it's there. Like I usually when something weird is thrown in, I always know it's because the dub just doesn't have enough words for it. But it's weird to me that it was also in the sub. Like why was
Someone
that
chose
important?
that line to be in there.
Like it was very intentional.
Yeah,
And why? Why
bizarre.
why?
Um, so Haruhi establishes that they're Ouran Academy, to which Tamaki smiles and says, "What will you do here?" And she says, "Study, I suppose." She tells him about her dreams, and he responds, "What good are dreams if all you do is work?" Which is such a Tamaki thing. Um,
I love
Hatter,
that.
me too. Hatter, Dormouse, and Hare all agree that it's also important to have a good time. So then the Duchess is calling for her to be executed because you know Queen of Hearts, and Haruhi's outraged and runs off. No, she doesn't call for. Yeah. So I'm really good at this. Uh,
Yeah.
in the Ouran Library, a masked king and queen sit on their thrones, and the Duchess stands on her rig because Renge. accused of attending the Royal Music Festival by invitation. When Wingay says it's her duty to attend, the queen asks, even if it means leaving your precious child alone? Haruhi defends a mother's right to provide for her family, but the king accuses her of practicing law unlicensed. This sounds like my dreams. They're bonkers. Law unlicensed, adding that she's guilty of breaking a vase. Haruhi says it was intact when she last saw it, but then it has a flash forward to her actually breaking the vase. The Hatter appears as a witness, stating that Haruhi has a drab approach to student life. A frustrated Haruhi calls him Tamaki Senpai, and the room grows bright and filled with guests and all the hosts in costume. Tamaki wants to know how she knows his name. The twins, how she knew they were twins. Kiyoya, how she knew about his notebook. And Honey, about his cavity. And Mori just asks, how? Because Mori's a man of
It's
few
Mori.
words. The king is revealed as Ryoji, who comments on the wonderful friends Haruhi has made at Ouran. Ryoji's her dad, right? Yeah. Ranka.
Okay. But that's his drag name.
Yes.
So that's what he goes by.
Oh my goodness. Who comments on the wonderful friends Haruhi has made at Ouran. Haruhi turns towards the queen, and who stands and walks towards the girl with telling her with Ranka's voice, don't be afraid to enjoy yourself, all right? Haruhi runs towards her mother and leaps into her arm. Oh no, it's with
That's her mom.
her mom. Her mom tells her, don't be afraid to enjoy. Oh, that's right. It got really sad at the end.
It was really sad. It was really sad.
I blocked this part out. It gets really sad at the end. Haruhi runs towards her mom and leaps into her arms. The story skips back to reality, and she was just asleep on the table, tears on her cheeks, and Mom was like the last thing she had muttered. She wakes up to find the host club ready to cosplay Wonderland, and in spite of her melancholy, she smiles and admits that around here I can hardly tell when I'm awake.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's sweet.
It is really sweet, but dang, do they just like punch you in the gut with the dead mom story and her mom telling her to remember to have fun?
So, especially since the last couple have been just so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like a little in on what Haruhi wants to do with her life, which I think is really cool. And you see why. And it's a really good filler episode, even if I do hate Alice in Wonderland. It's a good filler episode.
You can like this version.
I will admit that.
This version will be your Alice in Wonderland.
You know what? I accept that. If I have any version of Alice in Wonderland, it will be the Ouran Host Club one.
There you go.
I don't have any fun facts, so I'm going to go to the next episode, which is covering the famous Host Club. Here's your Netflix summary. The newspaper club wants to run a story on the host in order to boost readership, but the editor's grudge against Tamaki could cause trouble. I love this episode so much because it shows how much everyone in that stupid club loves. I love it because I love how much everyone loves Tamaki, and I love what a child Tamaki is and how pure he is and how he just thinks the best of everyone and he just genuinely wants to help people, and I freaking love him.
I did love the twins when they were like they're like, the master's not that smart, but there's a few times now in these 4 episodes we watched where they call everybody dumb, but they're dummies, and I'm like, no, it's sweet. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, I got my booster yesterday, and it's like a hot. Ugh. It's annoying. Okay, here we go.
Bruh.
Episode begins in the office of the newspaper club with President Akira, I'm not saying his last name, asking his 2 staff reporters, not saying their name, how many newspapers have been sold. It's exactly 2, purchased by the reporters themselves. He informs them that if sales don't improve, they'll be disbanded at the end of the term. Moreover, he's irritated to learn that the popular and influential host club is selling out of their photo books and Renge-produced fanzines. What is the notebook called? It's like Tamaki-licious or something dumb like that, and
it's stupid. I don't remember.
So
it was
funny.
bad.
It looks like those like firefighter calendars. Anyway,
Hell
10 out,
yeah.
10 out of
That's
10 would
exactly what it
purchase that.
is.
10 out of 10 would buy
Oh,
that too.
10,000%. I would buy that. 10,000%.
I'd be like, it's supporting a good cause. Um, so we
Dude,
go over,
no shame. I'd be
yeah,
like, we're supporting schools.
yeah, we're helping
Whatever.
people get scholarships. So we skip over to the host club conducting business outdoors, and they're in their traditional garb, and the hosts are hard at work with their guests. Tamaki is flirting behind the hydrangeas, which I was like, how dare he? The twins are playing at matching shells. And then Kiyoya is talking about the history of the Yaramisu channel while taking reservations for future events. And Honey and Mori are pretending to be a giant eating soba noodles with chopsticks. Because they are. Um, Haruhi is alone enjoying the peace and
They're
quiet,
so
thinking
stupid.
she's finally getting the hang of things, which made me laugh because, that never happens. Also, Haruhi has like long hair in this. Like, she has like little hair extension things. I don't know, but they're cute. I like it. I like Haruhi's outfit.
Play with her gender a lot, and no one cares, and I adore that.
It's great.
I like 10,000% think in this universe, if she had joined the host club as a girl, she would still be just as popular.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's
10,000%.
her personality. We love Haruhi.
She's just dope. She's natural. She's the natural type.
Yes, she is.
Or
We might
court
get rain
queen.
this weekend. Okay. Suddenly,
That's
Tamaki
the dream.
knocks Haruhi down because this ball is about to hit her, which is so funny because he's like, "You're gonna hit Haruhi," and then like just pummels her, trying to save her. Um, he gets mad at the twins who kicked the ball. That they blame him for not catching it. They're like, "We didn't know you were bad at this," which made me laugh. And then the newspaper club says they have no choice but to involve the hosts in order to save their club. The reporters are wary, and then it cuts to Tamaki, whose athletic reputation is now on the line. So dumb. Um, Pushing him to demonstrate his skills with a powerful but uncontrolled kick, which absolutely launches the ball into the air, and it goes through the window of the newspaper club and hits Akira in the head. So now all of them are in the office, and Tamaki's trying to apologize. And playing upon his vanity, Akira asks if the newspaper can spotlight the host club for the latest edition of the term. Tamaki immediately agrees because Tamaki is Tamaki, but the other hosts see no value in it, saying newspaper's a gossip like magazine, and they just start literally trashing it and dragging it because apparently all they do is cause rumors and fights. Um, so Akira claims to have excruciating head pain and almost faints a few times and groans that their club is doomed. And so Tamaki declares they can make a fresh start and they will help save their like school club family. And all of them leave the door. And Tamaki commands that they obey them, and they all leave. So, back in the music room, everybody's back in uniform except Tamaki, who's crouched by a window, playing with the Kamari ball and staring at everyone with puppy eyes. After trying to resist, they all finally give in, which is really funny. So it's just him like twirling this ball and doing the puppy eyes, and it's like labeled on the bottom of the screen, and they're all like, "Don't do it, don't do it," and you're just watching him one by one like fall into his trap. They give in,
All
though.
of their best friend.
I
He's
know.
all of their best friend, and he deserves their support no matter what.
I would
He's a
fall.
wonderful friend. I love him.
He's a great, dumb, beautiful himbo who's a good friend, and we stand.
Yes.
Um,
10,000%.
Though Kiyoya stipulates that there has to be conditions to this, he finally gives in. Kiyoya later visits the newspaper club, outlines the host club's terms, to which they agree, and he leaves a first aid kit with Akira as a token of goodwill, prompting Akira to ask if Kiyoya is one of the Utari whose family is involved in medicine. Utari, Ootori.
Oh, I don't
Utari,
remember what
Utari.
his
Oh well.
Otaro?
No, it's an E. It's got I. I
Do
don't know.
not
All
remember.
right. Kiyoya assents and then asks if Akira is serving as editor as future preparation to run Komatsuzawa Publishing. Oy. Akira seeks to curry favor with Kiyoya, who remains unmoved by Akira's tale of family woe. Kiyoya leaves, but the reporters are still nervous about confronting the host club. Akira threatens them and all their family's livelihoods. Like, he literally is like, remember who's in charge of your family's, like, paychecks and stuff, and makes them do this. I hate him. Anyway,
Yeah.
he trash. So then we go to the following day where the hosts are seen in uniform playing outdoor games, and Akira interviews Haruhi, claiming that he will help her escape Tamaki's clutches if she reveals his dark side. Haruhi tells him that she's never seen it and goes off to play kick the can. Tamaki grabs her hand and drags her to his hiding spot under the table inside the gazebo, and Haruhi tells him a bit about her childhood friends. And Tamaki reveals that when he was young, his mother was frail, so he didn't have many friends the same age as him. And that's why he enjoys playing these
The
games.
saddest boy, and I love him.
It, like, he just wanted to be near his mom and his mom's friends just to take care of her, like...
He's so sweet.
He's so sweet.
He's the sweetest of all the boys, and I love him.
And that's why he deserves the world.
He'll get it. He's rich.
Good. Oh, well. So we're now in the Ouran Academy corridor with Akira telling the reporters that he's going to write a nasty, fictitious story about Tamaki. When he enters their club room, they're greeted by the hosts, minus Tamaki and Haruhi. They caution Akira not to malign. Gosh, that's an English word, and I'm struggling. Tamaki because they sincerely like him. Akira vows revenge, to which Kiyoya says, go ahead, and then pops a disc out of the bottom of the first aid kit, revealing that the kit was actually a recorder the whole time, and he's been recording all of their scheming plans since he dropped that kit off. Kiyoya explains that while the families could easily destroy the other family, they would never do so because their families are fundamentally different. So basically... What?
No, that's it. I was just punctuating that. It was punctuated by my AO. AO.
I just am like...
I should have snapped.
I just love Kiyoya. I mean, like, minus that one scene that I choose to ignore forever. Like, it's great. The way he's just like, no, you won't. And then the way the twins handle it, they're like so evil, but I don't know, loving. I love it.
We love that they're evil, though.
Yeah.
Someone has to be evil.
That's right, in a good way. So we're back outdoors, and the hosts discover that Tamaki and Haruhi telling them that the newspaper club is off their backs. And Hikaru and Karu wonder if Akira and his staff will be able to change their ways. As they go back to the music room, Haruhi asks Kiyoya if the Su family is really such a big deal. He outlines He outlines some of their businesses, which include school management. She inquires which school, and he's kind of taken aback, and he goes, "It's Ouran Academy." Haruhi is a student at Ouran due to, in part, the generosity of Tamaki's family, and that kind of just leaves Haruhi like stunned. She's there on scholarship, like on grant, and it's strictly because of Tamaki's family. So that was
the
it.
Superintendent's son. Don't you love it?
Nepotism, but in the sweetest way.
He's adorable, and I love him. Tamaki hurts my heart. Like, physically, I'm having a hard time right now. Yeah, like, I just love him so much. So we have 3 new voices in this episode. And I have to say their names. I don't get to skip over them.
I'm so sorry. I was like, nope, nope.
Let's see how I do. It's been 2 months. First we have Akira Kamatuzawa, AO. His English voice actor is Christopher Bevins, and he plays Hanato Zero in My Hero Academia and Detective Wataru in Detective Conan. And
what character is that in My Hero?
Zero? Tape elbows?
Tape elbows, okay. Thank you.
Tape elbows. Japanese voice actor is Kosuke Toriumi, and he plays Von Herder and Moriarty the Patriot, and Amon Hajiki in Fire Force. I think that's Hajiki. I might be wrong. I don't know.
I believe in you.
It's been 2 months. Next character we have is Chikane Ukoyo. Oh my God, this is so bad.
I'm so sorry to
English
these
voice
people.
actor. The English voice actor is Chris Kaysen. He plays Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball Z. And Kinji Misura in Mob Psycho 100. Japanese voice actor is my boy Yuki Kaji. He plays Shota Todoroki in My Hero Academia, and
Oh,
Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, and of course Daida in Ranking of Kings.
Shoto.
Get it? Um, and then our last character is Tomochika Sako Sakayo. Sakayo. I don't know. Tomochika. I can say that. His English voice actor is Kevin Connolly. He plays Siori in Ranking of Kings and Castoro in Hunter x Hunter. And then his Japanese voice actor is Kazuyuya Kobayashi, and they don't play anything.
Kevin
So,
Connolly. Why does that sound so familiar? He's not a Batman,
I
right?
don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not positive.
Kevin Connolly, American actor. He's been. Oh, he was in Entourage, The Notebook. He's just not that into you. You'd recognize his face.
Is he the same as the voice actor, Kevin Connolly?
About to look. I don't hear that name very often. John Q. Man, he really is. He's one of the main dudes in Entourage. Not that I ever watched Entourage, but he did voices in a lot of other stuff, so I bet it is him.
Probably him.
Maybe not, because I don't see it listed in his
Mm.
thingy. He was in Up, Up, and Away, which I love that movie on Disney Channel. The superhero family.
Mhm.
You remember that movie? No?
Yes.
Yes? Why do you...
Yes. Can you hear me?
You're just like delayed. So
Can
I'll
you
be
hear
like,
me?
yeah.
Oh,
See, I'll be like mid sentence and you'll respond, and I'm like, what? It's just a delay. It's fine. At first, I thought you had drawn on your mustache because I was looking at Kevin Connolly.
it's just
Twisty
a,
tie?
like a chip thing.
Twisty tie.
Yeah. Well, twist your majig.
It's a solid, like, four
Episode
second
15.
delay.
I'm just gonna dive into it and hope that when you're doing the summary, it'll catch up and then we won't have to deal
It's
with the
been the
delay.
whole episode. But go ahead. I've just been going with it, man.
Ah,
Go ahead.
bruh.
Do your thing.
Okay. Episode 15, the refreshing battle in Karuizawa. Yay, Karui's? Who knows? Here is your Netflix summary. The boys visit the B&B where Haruhi works part-time, but only the host who can charm Haruhi's boss will win a good night's sleep.
Bam, bam, bam. That's hard to say. All right, you just don't answer sometimes, and it's the most awkward silence. And I, half the time, I can't see you because I'm on this laptop. So I need you to answer me, or else I don't know you can hear me, or if you're still here.
When I answer you, it's delayed.
But if you don't answer me, I don't know you're there because I can't see you because I have to read the summary.
Try not to mess with the audio, bro.
That's
I
fine.
don't know what to do.
The audio will be fine. If you're silent, it's worse. Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Episode begins with the cell phone ringing incessantly in Hikaru and Kaori's bedroom. They recognize the ringtone as Tamaki and complain about his habit of rising early and calling them only 3 days into summer vacation. Tamaki is frantic and on conference call with the rest of the hosts because Haruhi hasn't answered his daily calls since vacation began. Therefore, she must have been kidnapped. Kiyoya calms them down by telling them that she's in Karuizawa.
Izawa.
Karuizawa, a resort known for its natural beauty. When I was watching this, I knew that was gonna trip me up later. Haruhi is indeed in Karuizawa, working without pay for Mizuzu, a family friend and pension owner who's keeping an eye on her during her summer break while Ranka works. As Haruhi hangs laundry, she's like saying, "Oh, this is so peaceful. This is nice. I could get used to it." And then a helicopter arrives and her laundry flies away, and she's like, "Never mind." And Haruhi's nightmare begins. The whole host club is there. Mizuzu is thrilled with the handsome boys. They, however, are confused by Haruhi's decision to work when she was invited by each of them to go on holiday. Tamaki is livid at their offers without his
Tamaki.
permission. They say, togetherness is our guiding principle. He says, which is why he further flips out upon learning that the twins have given Haruhi a cell phone, and this showed how old this show is. They're like, they're in our top 5. It's a friends and family plan. And I was like, oh, let me go get my cane. Top 5 family. Oh my goodness.
Hello. Could y'all not?
Oh, are the puppies here?
Wait, could you not?
I can't see. What, puppies?
Nothing is happening to you.
Are they
Are you
here?
okay, Steve? Yes, hold on. Steve needs to come to me.
Steven!
Steve, come here. Come here.
Oh, I just saw a little nose appear out of nowhere, and then he disappeared again. There's Steven!
Here, Steve. Sorry, y'all can continue.
Y'all?
Gosh. Hey, Hootie, I'm gonna turn my
Steven
sound off
got
real
a
quick. Go ahead
haircut! Look
and
at him!
he did. Isn't he handsome?
He's so
I'm gonna mute myself
handsome!
real quick so I can yell at Hootie. Sorry.
So I hope y'all are all just watching the video of Lauren silently yelling, "Howdy! Howdy!" and Steven looking like a absolute brown noser, like, "Oh, was it me, Mom?" Okay, I'm gonna keep reading while Lauren keeps yelling at Hootie. So Haruhi thinks that she should be able to spend her holiday as she chooses, but Kyoya reminds her that having a job is against the Ouran Academy policy. Tamaki agrees with Haruhi about how she spends her vacation, but adds that the hosts have the same right to do as they choose, indulging his theater of the mind with a romantic fantasy of Haruhi serving him breakfast in bed, which is really funny because they literally say, like, a theater of the mind, like, this is his daydream. His dream is spoiled by the fact that there's only one vacant room that remains. Goodness. He, of course, should stay as club president, or so he believes, until the twins remind him of his togetherness philosophy. And Honey complains, "Hey, that isn't fair." The twins suggest a competition to impress Mizuzu, and the winner gets the room. Mizuzu loves the idea, says refreshing is the name of the game. So they have to get refreshing points. Tamaki and Honey work on repairing a picket fence. The twins serve as bellboys. Mori hoists a table in need of repair with one hand. Basically, this just is like the Captain America scene in, it's not in Civil War.
Okay, this is nothing like the Captain America
How dare you.
scene in Civil War.
He starts chopping
He's
that wood, and I
ripping
was
apart
like,
wood with his bare hands.
you come back from
It's completely
muting
different.
just to argue this with me? I love it.
I am the Captain America stan in this life.
In this life.
My dog's name is Steve Podgers.
That is true.
Like, come on. Yeah, in this life.
In
I am
this
like
life.
the patron saint of Steve Rogers, and that's okay.
This is your shield. Okay. So, Haruhi asks...
Honestly, though, I want a picture of that.
Haruhi asks what
Oh,
refresher points
sorry.
are, and Mizuzu explains. So, refreshing natural beauty includes refreshingly beautiful young men, and with the host working at her pension, it will become the latest hotspot. So, basically, if they do things that are attractive to people, they get refresher points. Haruhi approaches Kiyoya, who isn't competing. He'll watch the show, then head to his family's cottage since they all have one in the area. He asks if Haruhi cares to wager on who will win, but she hasn't a clue. Kyoya assesses the situation. Eliminating Honey is too babyish. Tamaki is self-sabotaging. True. And the twins, though likely, seem to be losing to Mori's perfect physique on display as he's chopping wood bare-chested, and everybody in the window is like, ah. Um, though he'll bow out if Honey loses, leaving the twins the likely winners, because if Honey leaves, Mori will leave. Tamaki is determined to win, since Haruhi's esteem for him as a father figure is on the line, which is weird. He calls himself daddy multiple times in this episode.
He
Um,
doesn't know the difference between, he just loves her unconditionally, so he thinks that's a father's love because that's what
yeah,
it's supposed to be
and it's just weird because
at
it's like
times.
it's daddy in both directions. So Kyoya suggests a different tack, and soon Tamaki's magnificent piano skills are earning him a lot of refresher points. As the twins stand with Haruhi and are about to concede victory, a flower pot accidentally falls from the second floor window ledge. Um, Kaoru pushes Haruhi out of danger, but gets a facial cut as soon as he does. And Hikaru rushes to his aid, and in the throes of their brotherly love act, Mizuzu dubs them the winners because they're sacrificing themselves for each other. Um, Back in the rooms where the twins are staying at, Hikaru is shown to be shaking while holding Kaoru's hand after the vase incident, and what's her name? Oh my gosh, what is this main girl's name?
Right?
No, what's her name?
Her name is Haruhi.
Haruhi. Golly, Lord, something's wrong with me.
It's okay.
Anyway, Haruhi's like, this whole thing was fake, and they're like, yeah. So the twins are demanding, like, the next morning they're having breakfast and they're demanding unavailable items, and Tamaki appears, like, with a like newspaper, I think is what it is, and like smacks them over the head and tells them to stop being annoying. So he describes that the local cuisine is like a native does here in this area, and Haruhi asks him and reveals that he's been with Mizuzu all morning. Intrigued by the concept
He's
of,
the cutest person.
he's just trying to learn
Oh,
everything, and it's adorable.
he's precious. And he doesn't do it to gain anything. He just does it because he's a good guy. Like
Yeah,
he's just
and
like, we spent all day with this really cool lady. I just want to learn all of this stuff and be a part of this thing for a little bit. And I just think he's so cool and adorable, and we should all strive to live our life a little more like Tamaki. Believe that
with
fully in my heart.
with less conceitedness, but everything else, yes.
As poor Tamakis, as lower middle class Tamakis.
Lower middle class Tom and Keys. Oh my gosh. But yes, agreed wholeheartedly.
Oh, so
Um,
cute.
so Tamaki was intrigued by the concept of refreshing. He's also written a manual and developed a workshop that the host will have to attend about this refreshingness. His high hopes are suddenly dashed when the twins remind him of Kyoya and Honey's bad tempers when they wake up. So all of a sudden, a bicycle delivery boy enters in with provisions from Arai Produce. Mizuzu finds him refreshing. I hate this word now. As he's a cute high school
Say
boy
it so
working on
much.
holiday. I know, it's absolutely ruined me now. She calls to Haruhi to come and take the box to the kitchen. As the boy tips his head to the side to watch her approach, his cap falls off. Haruhi and this dude recognize one of each other, and the host trio realizes there's a new kid in town. That's how the episode ends. Bam, bam,
I only have two new voices. So I've got Mizuzu. Her English voice actor is Sunny Straight. Yes, these are boys. Sunny Straight, he plays Krillin in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my
Get it?
gosh.
Usopp in One Piece, and Maze Hughes in Full Metal Alchemist
I was
Brotherhood.
gonna say, why does that name sound familiar? It's Maze.
Sunny Straight.
Honestly,
Uh,
Maze Hughes could be Mizuzu, and it's the same character.
yeah, it'd be perfect. They
Yeah,
they picked the right person for
they did.
this.
Hmm.
Japanese voice actor is Cho, like Beyonce, just Cho.
Dang.
Uh,
Like
and he plays
Beyonce.
Beyonce,
One
Cho.
word.
He plays Jackin in it's either Jockin or Jackin. I don't remember. In Inuyasha and Brook in One Piece. And then the boy, the new boy, his name is his
The
it just
boy.
is R.I. Like that's just his name.
Ri.
He's delivering for a grocery store named after himself. His English voice actor is Jerry Jewell, and he plays
What a
Ko
good
Soma in Fruits
stage
Basket,
name.
right?
Jerry Jewell.
Jerry Jewell. Motaro Momotaro Misoshiba in Free, okay, and Hyoga in Doctor Stone, and then Japanese voice actor was Kazuki Taketini, and they didn't have anything.
Oh.
So there you go. They've only played this one dude named after a grocery store. Jeez. I
Like
think he was
Beyonce.
named after the grocery store
Yeah.
instead of the
Yeah.
grocery store is named after him. So
I'm gonna choose to believe
that's
it.
uh that's my decision and I stand by it. Cool. So here is the next episode, which is called Operation Haruhi and Hikaru's First Date. Yeah. Uh, your Netflix summary is thus: to teach his twin about relationships, sends Hikaru and Haruhi on a date. So can Hikaru show that he is capable of being thoughtful of others?
I
Question.
liked this episode. I thought it was very
I
sweet.
love this episode. I love this
You get
episode. This
like
episode is good
second layered
food.
deep good soup. Second layer deep character building, and you see the difference of the
So
twins that I like.
good. Yeah. And
So,
it's the difference that Haruhi points out in the beginning.
yep.
Like, because she turned to Hikaru and said, "You can be a jerk," and Hikaru's too playful, and they don't take anything seriously. And then you look at this, and it's Hikaru getting over it,
Yeah.
and Hikaru being the worst of it, and finally seeing it in himself, and it's just so freaking wonderful, and I
When he
love it,
gets
and I love
so
their
mad at
friendship,
the
and
thunderstorm thing and then realizes what happened and then goes to try and fix it and realizes like I
Tamaki yelling at him, die,
I love
just
it.
kill me,
All right, here we
kill me
go.
in the heart.
Kill me.
Sorry.
What? All right, here we go. The episode begins off where the last one leaves off. There's this new boy, Ari, whatever.
Ari.
We're calling him
Ari. Let's
the
just call
new
him Ari.
new boy. And Haruhi recognizing each other. They take time to get reacquainted, and Hikaru is immediately jealous, and Tamaki is depressed. Having been called an acquaintance. Oh, that's right, because on vacation, not vacation, on break, that she's not supposed to refer to him as senpai. He is, so she doesn't know how to introduce him, and so she's like, this is my acquaintance, Tamaki, and so now he's just like, what am I to you? Just an acquaintance, which is great. Just despite the fact that that's exactly what he told her to do. So, New Boy expresses his relief that Haruhi is doing well at Ouran Academy because he was worried about her. Hikaru blasts what he considers to be Ari's lame flirting and openly states that Ari clearly has a thing for Haruhi. Haruhi chides him for being a jerk, but Ari admits that he was interested in Haruhi while they were in middle school. Duh, she was a catch.
She still is.
Still is. True. Flashback to
Sorry, that
Haruhi
was
and
aggressive.
Ari. Sorry, Lauren. I'm so sorry. And Ari
To be so aggressive.
in middle school discussing Haruhi's plan to take the entrance exam for Ouran. Though Ari makes it clear that he wishes they could attend the same high school, Haruhi is clueless and misinterprets all of his statements as generic, essentially dismissing him as a potential boyfriend, aka he got friend zoned because he's not good at flirting. I understand that. Uh, Kiyoya, Honey, and Mori are all disappointed in Haruhi's callous behavior, inadvertent though it was, and Haruhi apologizes to Ari. Being good natured, Ari lets it go but admits, I always thought you were special. The group, minus Hikaru and Karu, uh, joins the ex-classmates to discuss Haruhi's middle school days. Hikaru loudly criticizes Ari, causing Haruhi to walk over him and slap him. I literally gasped when that happened. I was like, oh!
I know, right? You're like, oh, this went down.
Yeah, I
It
was like,
happened.
ooh. Embarrassed and really ticked off, Hikaru wonders aloud why Haruhi needs anyone else but the host club as friends and storms off. Karu trailing after, saying, like, wait for me, and trying to, like, comfort his brother. Back in the room, Karu gently confronts Hikaru's behavior, realizing that his twin was developing romantic feelings towards Haruhi, which, like, though
I know.
Hikaru remains oblivious. Um, so he also suggests that Hikaru apologize to Ari. So we skip over to the exterior of the building when the group's saying bye to Ari, and Haruhi begs pardon or begs forgiveness for Hikaru, and Ari once again just lets it go. He's like, it's not a big deal. Hikaru unexpectedly joins them and atones for his behavior, which Ari accepts. After he departs, Haruhi asks Karu why he's been pretending to be Hikaru, because it wasn't actually him apologizing. And he's like, oh, that's right, you can tell us apart. Which was funny because she's like, what happened to the cut on your cheek? And he's like, I put concealer on it. Because, of course, they carry concealer around.
Um, they're
Karu's,
fashionistas.
of course. Karu says
Yeah.
Hikaru's temper won't be normal for a while, and then asks Haruhi for a favor. And that favor is, will you go on a date with my brother? Or go on a date with
We
me?
asked him to go on a date with him.
Me, yeah. He asked him to go on a date with me. And I immediately knew what was coming next because it was like, you never get the twin you asked for. Um, so, next day, Hikaru shows up in Karu's place, telling her that Karu wasn't feeling well. Whatever. And then flashback to earlier in that day, which makes clear to the viewer that Karu's playing sick and gives Hikaru a chance to be with Haruhi and doing a favor for his brother, because of course he'll do a favor for his brother. He tells him, like, you have to treat her well. You have to take her on a good day. You need to be a gentleman. So he keeps hearing that over and over and over again in his head throughout the day. Meanwhile, the date starts, and it starts off bad because he tells Haruhi her outfit's weird. And Tamaki and all the rest of the hosts are spying on them, and Tamaki's just, like, losing it. He's like, she looks adorable!
So cute.
I did think the outfit was weird. I was like, this is, like, you got, like, a
It was
robe on top
the
of a
pigtails,
shirt.
right? I
Yeah,
thought the pigtails were a little odd.
I think
but
if you just had one or the other, but the
she
combination of the
tried,
both
and I think that's
was a
sweet.
lot. Yeah, she did try. The rest of the hosts are now getting very disheartened by Hikaru's ungentlemanly words and actions. I love that. I think it might have been Tamaki yells, like, how is he even a host? Because the date was just horrible. When Karu is asked why he set up the date in the first place, he replies that Hikaru needs to learn how to think of others' needs. His subsequent monologue reveals that his innate common sense and sensitivity is impressing his clubmates greatly. So they're all like, dang, like, you could be a leader in this group. Like, you're making one of our hosts, like, actually work on themselves for an issue they solve. I don't know, it was for both the twins to grow. So, as Hikaru continues being a jerk, and Haruhi continues being polite about it, she noticed storm clouds are developing. And we saw on that beach trip episode that she's absolutely terrified of thunderstorms. The date continues, and okay, I have to mention the ice cream part, because that made me laugh a lot. So, Honey walks with an ice cream truck, and then Mori, like, tackles Honey to get out of the way. And they're like, they just tackled that old man. And then they go over to get ice cream at this other little ice cream shop, and it's Tamaki and a mustache, and they're, like, fighting behind the counter. And I love that in the scene, like, it says, like, actual counter worker, like it's the guy just standing there like in shock, like who are these people in mustaches giving people ice cream?
And
It,
he like just physically couldn't stand the thought of them sharing an ice cream cone together.
it made me laugh so hard. I was like, what's this such a dumb little add-in to this episode, but it's so worth it. It's so funny.
I love it.
Um, So, as Hikaru continues being a jerk and Haruhi's continuing to put up with it, she notices storm clouds. The date continues, and being empathetic, Haruhi purchases a get well gift for Kaoru, knowing that Hikaru's selfish behavior is due in part to his worrying about his brother. She gives him the benefit of the doubt. When
Which is
Hikaru,
sweet.
yeah, when Hikaru asks how she can tell he's upset with Kaoru, she says she just can. The fact being that it's Haruhi's attention to details regarding her friends that enables her to know them so well. She just genuinely cares, and it's very sweet. The moment Haruhi includes Kaoru, the date begins to improve, and the hosts start to leave them alone and stop spying on them as hard. As the couple shops and
They shouldn't have done
chats,
that.
yeah,
Shouldn't have done
as the couple shops
that.
and
Scuffle?
chats, the scupples, Haruhi hears
Is it
low
because they're like
thunder.
actually a septuple?
No. Signaling an oncoming
Just she's
storm.
dating all of them.
Ugh, I don't like that. I guess that's just like The
Oh, I
Bachelor.
do.
So Ari bumps
Yeah.
into them and offers to take them back to the pension in his uncle's car. Haruhi's anxiety is growing as she keeps hearing more and more thunder, and she specifically suggests, hey, maybe we should take him up on his offer and get in his car. But Hikaru throws a tantrum and is like, oh, you just want to hang out with him now? Okay. And then runs off. A bit later, Ari calls Mizuzu to see if the two made it back, and the hosts learn about what transpired after they left. So they realize there's a thunderstorm happening and they're not home. Tamaki calls Hikaru's phone and reprimands him for leaving Haruhi alone, especially since she's terrified of thunder. Hikaru searches high and low and finally finds her crying beneath the altar of a church. He drapes the altar cloth around her shoulders because they're all soaking wet, and then puts his headphones over her ears and sits beside her with his arm around her to comfort her and so she doesn't hear the thunder. He also apologizes, perhaps for the first time in his life, to someone other than Kaoru. Haruhi's forgiveness startles him, but the emotion he feels after reconciliation changes him, and for the better. And they just like lean in on each other, and he's just comforting. It's just such a sweet little tender moment, and I just really loved it.
Sweet.
So the following
It's
day,
wholesome.
it is so good. The following day, Ari delivers a fresh watermelon for everyone to share. Hikaru approaches Ari, and although he doesn't apologize, Ari offers him the melon, which he accepts. And you see that it's like a nonverbal apology and acceptance of an apology, which is exactly how my family does it. We do not end up saying it, it's just food. Um, from the overhanging
Oh,
balcony,
I make them say sorry to me. I'm a brat. I will not accept an apology unless it is said out loud to my face. And if they refuse to do it, I'll be like, are you going to apologize? Like, I will antagonize them until they do it.
I
My
gave up.
Leo never shows harder than when I feel like I'm slighted.
I gave up on that battle. There's battles you had to choose. So,
This is the
uh,
battle I choose, and I will die on it.
oh my god, Thorn. So, over on the balcony, Kyoya and Karu are watching, and Kyoya asks Karu, has he considered that his strategy, might not have worked and maybe Hikaru would have fallen? And he says it's too soon for that because Hikaru is too much of a dummy about his feelings. And this is one of my favorite lines. He goes, he's new at this and he's too much of a dummy. And Kyoya goes, well, it's a good thing we got a whole club full of them. And I don't know. And then it's just such a sweet little ending.
It's such a good show. It brings me the most joy. I'm so excited for the next episode because it's a Kyoya episode and it's hilarious.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't have anything else to say here except to tell you what we're watching next, which is something. It's not this. This is the wrong piece of paper. Don't look at that. That's bad. Please hold. Shh. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, yeah. You want me to pull it up?
Here we go. Maybe I'm so close to being there, I think. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
I found it. Here we are. Guys, it's been a couple months. I'm so sorry. So we're gonna watch episode 70. Oh my God. 17 through 20. Episode 17,
70.
Kyoya's Reluctant Day Out. Episode 18, Chica's Down with Honey Declaration. Episode 19, Lobelia Girls Academy Strikes
Oh
Back. And
no.
episode 20, The Door
Rebellion.
the Twins Opened. So that's that. That's what we'll be watching next week. Bye.
What? What? Lauren. Okay, well, that's what we're watching next week. Remember, you can subscribe to our Patreon. Or we're covering Naruto. We're gonna be changing up how we do it a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
because this is torture.
this is so slow. I had to watch an episode today that was the most ridiculous filler episode. The Patreon episode is gonna be like 5 minutes long because of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fine.
so we're gonna change that up a little bit, and then yeah, share us with your friends, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
We love anime.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
love. Oh my gosh, we do have a
oh my
sign off.
God,
We love
we
anime,
do.
and we love you. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching Gateway Anime Podcast with Bridget and Lauren. Please remember to like, subscribe, and download our episodes. Remember, we also have a Patreon, so if you want to suggest shows for us to watch, make sure you go visit us. Special thank you to Marjorie McClendon for our artwork and designs, and Drew Griffith for all of our music. We hope to see you again next week. Remember, we love anime, and we love you.